Much of the new living space for our house comes from finishing off the basement. And in an old house, a dry basement is not easy to come by, especially when you've got one as old as ours and one that's made out of rubble stone. And Mark, you probably know this problem better than anybody, and you certainly know the problem that we were having here with our house on this corner.
Right. Always the biggest culprit is the water. Yeah. As you can see, the downspout has landed right here.
And literally, it was just dropping the water in this spot, and it was just all standing there.
Exactly. It pooled up, deteriorated the mortar, worked its way in. We ended up with a leak. So what we decided to do was dig out this area all the way down to the driveway.
Yeah.
We're going to take our downspout, connect it to the pipe that we put in, and get rid of the water.
All right. Now, when Tommy showed me this corner a few weeks ago, I saw that that mortar was really beat up. It looks like you've already cleaned it out.
Right. We've already ground out the joints. They're ready to be repointed right now. The only thing that we're going to do differently on this job that we've done in the past is we've put an additive into the mortar, which I actually have over here if you want to go see it.
I would.
All right. Kevin, say hi to Greg.
Hey, Greg.
How are you, Kevin?
All right, so I know you're a smart guy, not just because you got the secret sauce. You're back here in the shade.
I am.
So what is this additive that we're working with?
This is Type E crystalline additive. It is a waterproofing additive for stuccos and mortar.
So I'm looking at this little cup right here. Can you pass me that? Is that the material actually right there?
It is.
All right, and how does it work?
It's a proprietary blend of crystalline, quartz crystalline, and it works with reacting with water. Mm-hmm. So water is the catalyst for the reaction, and what happens is millions of needle-like crystals grow within the mortar itself, and that barrier becomes the barrier for water not to make it through to the mortar.
Are you saying that this joint is going to be waterproof with this additive?
Yes, it will be. It'll be waterproof for the life of the structure.
Okay. Now, I'm looking at a small bag next to a big bag of traditional Portland. Is this basically the ratio of the mix?
It is. We designed this 1.9-pound bag to go specifically with a 94-pound bag of Portland.
Nice.
So it's a 1-to-1 ratio. It's basically 2% of the cementitious total.
So, Mark, you've been working with this stuff for the last couple hours. How is it to work with?
Well, first of all, I love the waterproofing aspect. Mm-hmm. And what I found a bit surprising but enjoyable was the workability of it. Trowel was flowing all over the place. I was able to flip my mortar a little quicker, which makes me go a little quicker.
It will improve the workability, especially on a hot day like today.
Yeah.
It will reduce shrinkage cracking drastically, and that's really what you want in a mortar additive.
Yeah.
So it sounds like a pretty good product. Do you have any reservations working with it?
I think the only reservation I would have is probably the cost, because it's
a little extra material.
That's right.
It does add a little cost, but in areas where it's absolutely essential, it can be justified.
An area like this foundation is actually perfect for it.
Yeah, great. Well, not just this foundation, because we're actually working with something similar down in the basement as well, right?
That's right.
Well, I want to hear about that.
Okay, Kevin, so as you can see, the bottom half of our foundation is the rubble stone. Mm-hmm. You can see a bunch of places that have been tried to be repaired.
Quite a few, maybe 20, 30, even 50 years worth of attempts,
exactly.
Right?
Some successful, some unsuccessful.
Yeah.
But this corner here, as you can see, this is a direct correlation between the leak and this.
The gutter's right on the other side of this brick corner. And so you're saying that that water coming in has done all this damage?
That's right. The water, I mean, we've pulled a bunch out. I can actually still pull a little out here. I've actually left a spike in there just to demonstrate the depth. Right.
So how do you fix that?
Well, same procedure. What we're going to do is mix Portland, sand. We're going to put the additive, the same additive that we used outside to waterproof. Okay. We're going to stuff these voids and these holes. We're going to bring everything out to about 1.5 inches.
Right.
And then at that point, we're going to let Billy take over.
Okay. And so, Billy, you're the second half of our secret sauce.
Yes, I am.
What do we do about this situation down here, and how's it different than outside?
Okay, well, you can see we are below grade, so we have a rubble foundation that's met with brick.
Right.
So that poses a problem because we're below grade.
Okay.
So you can see that there was an old window that was patched in here with some brick.
You have this little outline right there.
Exactly. So we have a joint between the old rubble and the brick. Mm-hmm. And this is an active leak during rainstorm.
All right, so what do you do for this for us?
We're going to solve this with a 3-part system. The first part is called hydraulic crystal plug, and I'll show you what it is right here. This hydraulic crystal plug right here is a very strong, fast-setting crystal plug. Mm-hmm. And it's used to stop active flowing water.
So when I see something like this, I'm thinking hydraulic cement. Is it similar?
Very similar to hydraulic cement. A little bit faster setting, a little bit stronger, and it grows crystals in the old concrete, in the old mortar. So it will stop active leaks and continue for the life of the concrete.
All right, you ready to put this in?
Yeah, so we'll give this a try here.
Now, hydraulic cement, my recollection, sets up really fast. Same thing with your crystals?
Yes, absolutely. And you'll notice I've got a glove on my left hand here. So what I do is I keep that on because it's very difficult to use trowels to point this in because it has to be held into place. And had this been an active leak during a rainstorm, this could be done during active leaks. You'll see that I'm getting this to the right consistency. Too soft and it's difficult to work with. Too hard and it'll set up before you get to your location. Sometimes it's a two-man job, but
Two-man job, I mean what? One guy's mixing, one guy's setting?
exactly.
Really?
One guy mixes it, and then he hands it to the next guy.
And so you're actually using a glove here.
That's correct. I use a glove because a trowel is very difficult to work with. So I'll be pressing this into the joint. This is the active leak here. This would be stopping right now, and you'll notice that this is setting up already.
That is remarkable. Literally 10 seconds ago, that
10
was just
seconds.
kind of a loose slurry almost.
That's exactly right. And the crystals now will be activating towards the existing old mortar.
Billy, it's like an Olympic sport. The clock's working against you all the time.
It is an Olympic sport, yeah. It's usually a two-man process, like I said. But the hot weather certainly has something to do with the temperature of the water. In any cement, actually, helps it cure faster. So under some circumstances, you might want to use some cold water. Too soft, it's hard to put it into place because it moves around, and too hard and it sets up too fast. And there you go, ready to roll.
And so now that is ready for what, coat 2?
That's correct, second step. The crystalline mortar is very important for bridging the old cracks to the new cracks. It will protect the concrete for the life of the structure. So the third and final coat is really a top coat to hold the high crystalline layer in and to flush out the crack and bring it to flush. Our crack repair is complete. This is now a watertight joint. Just as an extra measure, we are going to mix up some mortars and we will apply that as a crystalline slurry over all of the existing mortar in the basement.
Well, I love to hear that that is a watertight joint. And Mark, when you're done fixing this corner right here, are you going to paint it over with the slurry as well?
Yeah, we're going to do the same thing Billy just did.
Which will hopefully give us a dry basement?
Watertight basement.
I'll love to hear that. All right, well, thank you, Billy.
You bet.
At this stage,